you had made a comment in the form about your cooking ability. Tell me about that. That like I thought I knew quite a bit about you. I thought I knew some stuff about you, and then I'm like, what? Like I read that, and I'm like, wait a second. There's a whole story
Yeah,
in this.
I simply come from uh, two cooking families. My father's side of the family, delicious, incredible Caribbean cooking,
Mm.
and
Are
local.
you trained? Are you trained at all,
You,
or is this
you know,
strictly?
I grew as I in my early 20s. I did actually attend culinary school. I did a year of culinary school, and learned some methods. But of course, I could already cook by then. My dad was well known throughout New York, making cheesecakes and all kind of stuff, and things people would come from all over the city to get. And my Italian cooking came from next door. Luisa Bisconti was the last Italian. Her and her husband were the last Italians in Gun Hill Projects in the Bronx. Her and my grandmother were friends. My grandmother was a telephone operator at one point, and I used to have to go over there after school till my grandma got home. And I would be there. I just remember her standing in the kitchen, in the doorway, stirring sauce, stirring sauce. And I would watch TV with her husband on the couch. And then I'd come back sometimes and she'd be over my house. Her and my grandma would be in the kitchen smoking cigarettes and playing cards. And then other times I would come home and see the earthenware dish on top of the counter. I would know that Louisa had sent some food over. I lift the lid, two big meatballs and some pink sauce with some mastiacholis. There we go. So recipes from family really taught me, you know, execution of cooking. My dad's breakfast techniques, how he made his eggs, how he did this, the local surrounding food that we would get as a regular staple. So between that family upbringing and two cooking families, I had a lot of execution technique and an appreciation of foods. So when I got older, traveling to places, having friends of different demographics, you end up just trying stuff. Or you end up, you end up, for example, part of my family's like, Muslim, Christian, and Rastafarian, depending on who you're around. So a large time I was raised not eating pork, for example. For whatever reasons, whenever I didn't,
Yeah, yeah.
as I found my own self, I didn't adhere to a lot of things that I didn't find personally useful. And also traveling, you know, traveling is a different thing. And me being very open minded, I remember one time in the Northeast in China, uh, Paul takes me to this place. We eat, then Paul becomes very sick. So I find my way back to this noodle house myself. And the chef's like, oh, he's back. The black guy is back. So he's sitting there. I said, hey, make me the same thing you made Paul. And he's the chef. And I guess he's got a sous chef. He pulls out some liquor and a cigarette. He points to the guy in the kitchen and says, hey, make it good. Points to, make it good. So we're sitting there talking. The ladies are coming over like, hey, what are you doing here? And she's doing this. Like, what does that mean? She wants to know, do you have a wife? At this time, I did it. So the owner of this place hears about me, and they call him and says, "Hey, the foreigner's back." He comes down there. He obviously got dressed and came down there, and this tall gentleman comes in, older guy, and he says, "Oh, what country are you from?" So I'm here from the United States. He says, "Oh, I've never met an American before. Welcome to the Northeast." And we're talking. He says, "Wow, your Chinese is very good. Will you allow me to prepare you our signature dish?" And that hospitality, being different, perceived as different, meant everything to me. And I wasn't going to say, "Oh, no, thank you." I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely." And when it came,
Absolutely.
and when it came out, it was these mini marinated seasoned pork chops, lightly fried in this. I don't even know what. I can't even describe what this sauce was, and it was fantastic.
Uh,
And we tore it up,
uh,
and I'm like, this is what it's all about: getting together and exchanging culture. They didn't give me anything insane, and this is not gonna make me die next week. It's like this is it. These examples, you know, these examples. In another instance, there's a plate coming around with some meatballs on top of a tripe, stomach lining. I'm like, oh boy,
uh,
this is gonna be tough to do. and I look up from the plate, and the local across from me, he looks at me, he says,
Oh
"Just
no.
don't do it. Just don't do it." And we both explode in laughter. I mean, explode in laughter. I told him, I said, I was really sweating over here. You guys are always watching me to see what I'm going to be able to withstand. He said, no, I don't eat either. And we just kept laughing about this for like 3 hours. We ended up pairing off and going and drinking arm in arm and hanging all over each other and just dying laughing. And you make another friend. And you're like, wow,
Yeah, man.
I wonder how he's doing. He's just this simple blue collar guy, and
Huh?
you can't
Yeah.
stop them from trying to pay for everything. It's his treat. If you try to pay,